Hello everyone. So in this video I'm going to be doing a demo of my software application which is called Raporta. And Raporta is simply a software that enables schools administrators and teachers to manage and record student marks in various subjects across various classes in their school. And when they record these marks using this software, they will be able to automatically calculate things like the student's average position per class and even generate their report cards using the software ready for printing. So let me do a small demonstration of how the application functions. Once you open the application, first of all, you have to log in. I already created some data to start with and some users too, which I'm going to be using in this demonstration. Now, typically when you log in, each person using the application has an account which has a username and a password. So I created a sample school which was called Winter Wonderland, and I'm going to log in as the administrator of this school. So I will give the username. So there I have the username of the user, which is Wonderland admin, and the password is already given. So I will simply click on login to log in with this user. And now when the user is logged in, you can see this is what shows on the screen. We have this small sidebar here which has the dashboard, admin panel, insert marks, and generate report cards. So we are going to go through all of this. The admin panel, first of all, since this is an admin of a given school called Winter Wonderland, as we said, the admin panel is where this school administrator is able to have a broad view of everything going on in the school concerning students, classes, and the calculation and registration of student marks. So here we have users. The admin can create a new teacher for the school and so on by filling in this form. I already have some sample teachers I created below. We can see we have a total of 5 users for the moment under this school, with one of them being this admin which we are currently logged as. And we have 4 other users which are teachers in this school. And now we can see for the second user, which is Mrs. Miriam. If we look under here, we have a column called assign class, and we have assigned a class of form 2 to Mrs. Miriam, whereas for the other teachers they have no assigned class. This is because Mrs. Miriam was made a class mistress of this class form 2, and the other teachers are not class masters or mistresses of any class for now. So this is simply to demonstrate that you can make a given teacher a class master or mistress. And apart from the users which are teachers, we also have classes. The school admin can add a new class by filling in this form, and the school admin can also view all the classes which are displayed under the school. For now we have just 2 classes which are form 1 and form 2, but obviously you can add as many classes as you want by filling in this form, which we are not going to go through now. And then next we have the subjects. We also have a table for the various subjects in the school, and each subject is associated to a particular class and has a coefficient. For example, we can see we have computer science with the coefficient of 2, and this is computer science for the class of form 2. If you have other classes like form 1 and there is computer science in form 1, the computer science of form 1 is going to be considered differently as computer science of form 2. So the fact that each subject has its own class differentiates the subjects. And here we have the teacher, and for the other subjects we have the different subject names and their classes, coefficients, and teachers too. Now you can also add a subject for a given class by filling in this form too. You have various things to give, which are the subject name, coefficient, the class in which you want the subject to be, and the teacher who is going to be teaching the subject. So you can fill in this form to do that. And finally we have the students section. Here we have various students in this school. For now we have just 3 students, and all the 3 students are in form 2. This is because I wanted to make a small illustration with the class of form 2, but you can simply add other students in other classes by filling in this student form 2. So we have each student is going to have the name, the registration number, or you can think of it like the matricule or the student ID of the given student, the date of birth of the student, their gender, and the class of the student. So these are the various required data for creating a new student. Now I want to log in as a regular teacher into this platform, a teacher of Winter Wonderland School, instead of the admin, in order to fill in marks for a subject. So the admin is simply there to manage the various aspects of the school, like we can see the users, the classes, subjects, and students. But now I want to log in as an actual teacher who teaches in a class and wants to record marks for an evaluation. So I first log out from the admin account, and then now here I'm going to log in as one of the teachers. So this is a new user I'm logging in as, which is who has the username of Mary and the password. So I will log in as Mary, and here we can see first of all this teacher is not an administrator. So on her sidebar here we have just the dashboard and the insert marks. You can notice that there is no admin panel like the administrator had. Now I can click on insert marks and I'm taken to this page. Now to insert marks for a given subject in a given class, I will first select the subject. So when creating a new teacher or adding a new teacher to a school, the administrator, as we saw previously, is responsible for adding the teachers and assigning subjects to them. So this is a subject that has been assigned to this teacher called Mrs. Mary. Her subject is English Form 2. So I will choose English Form 2. If she had other subjects, they will be displayed there also, but I want to choose English Form 2, which is the subject we are going to be inserting marks for. And the class I want to choose English Form 2 is in the class of Form 2. And here I can choose the semester. There are 3 semesters and there are 6 sequences. You must not use all of the 6 sequences and 3 semesters. Usually in some schools or in many schools in Cameroon, they end at 5 sequences. So you can fill in marks up to sequence 5 if you want. But for now, I want to fill in the marks for semester 1 or term 1, sequence 1. And these are the 3 students which are present in Form 2. So I will give them marks each. For the first student, I will give him an English mark of 19. And the marks are on 20. You can see mark out of 20. We can also increase or decrease the mark by using these arrows here. But I will leave the mark as 19. And let me see if I want to give a mark above 20. Let's see if I want to give this student 22 on 20. We see we get a message here saying value must be less than or equal to 20, and this value cannot be saved. We will see when I will try to save the marks. Now for the next student, I will give him the mark of 19 on 22, and for the third, I will give him the mark of 17 on 20. Now let me try saving this. I will save, and we see we get an error message. All marks must be between 0 and 20. This is because there is one student with a mark above 20, so you can see this enables us to prevent mistakes. And I will give this student the mark of 19 now, as I wanted to originally give. And now I can save this again, and we see this time around marks saved successfully. So these are the various marks for our student. But now we have finished saving the marks. This is all this particular user can do, because Mrs. Mary was just a teacher of English in Form 2. But apart from saving marks, she can't do anything again. If you want to actually compute the marks and produce report cards using these marks, we need to log in as a user who has the capabilities of doing that. So here we were registering the marks for students in Form 2 for English language, but before that I already registered marks for these students in some few other subjects, and we are going to see how we can take the marks in these various subjects and calculate all of them to produce the students' averages and ranks in report cards, which are downloadable as PDF files ready for printing. So I will log out from this account. And you can see here I am logging in and logging out with different accounts, but usually the different users of the system are going to be different people in the school, like different teachers, which will each have their own phone or computer as device for working with. I'm just logging in and out of different accounts because I want to do the job of many different users at once. So I'm going to log in as the admin again of Winter Wonderland School. And now you can see the admin has the admin panel and various other options which the normal teacher didn't have. So we are going to be trying to generate report cards for students in a given class. So I will come to generate report card option, and here this is the form. It's a sort of form I have to fill, but everything is already predefined. I simply have to select the options. For the class, I will choose Form 2. For the report scope, the scope can either be a sequence, semester, or academic year for sequential, trimestral, and annual report cards. But for now, I have just marks for first sequence, so I will choose sequence. And under sequence, I have the various sequences. I'm choosing the first sequence, and I'm going to choose compute results. Now, when we click on compute results, we see these are the results of the different students in this given class. They have already been calculated, taking into consideration the marks of these students in all their given subjects. And we can see all the students of this class are already ranked in order of merit from the first to the last. We have the first one, Lionel Messi, with an average of 18.64, second Kylian Mbappe, and third Erling Haaland with their given averages. And as I said previously, we inserted marks for the students in English as we saw in the video, but before that I had already inserted marks for different subjects which have been added to the marks in English and computed to produce these averages and ranks, which you can see. I didn't go through all the subjects in this video just to save time, but you can see the process is the same for every other subject. Now what we can do if you want to generate the report cards for given students. Here we already have their ranks and their averages. I can want to generate the report card of a particular student. I will come under the actions column here on this table and generate by clicking on this generate button. And if I click on it, we see the report card is downloaded as a PDF file on top here in my downloads on my browser, and I can simply open it by clicking on this file. And now we see this is how the report card is displayed. We have the students' marks in various subjects. These are the marks I told you about, which I already recorded previously. We have the mark in computer science with the coefficient of 2. This student had 20 on 20. In maths, the student had 19 with a coefficient of 3, and we can see and so on. We have the marks in other subjects. Now the total coefficient is 11, and the student has an average of 18.64 on 20. And we can see this is the class average 18.27, the student average 18.64, and the rank first or 1 out of 3. Now we can also go back to this page, and instead of generating report cards for one student at a time, I can simply select multiple students. I can check the number of students I want to generate report cards for, or if there are many students, let's say there are more than 50 students even, I will not be clicking one by one. I can simply come to select all students, and I will click on this. Then I will click on generate selected. So I will click on this to generate the number of report cards that I want, and these are all the report cards for all the students that are generated. Now I can click on it again to open the report card. Now we see this is the report card of another student in that class who was a second with an average and a class average also. And with that, we have seen how to use this software to register and compute marks for students in various subjects, and even generate report cards for them in an easy going manner. All these processes can be done in different places, as this is supposed to be an online application which can be accessed from anywhere. Teachers must not come to school to fill marks. They can sit at the comfort of their homes, even with their mobile phones, to do all of this. And we can see how the report card is generated. This file can be simply printed and handed to the students inside their report booklets. Thank you all for watching.